All right, guys, we've got a really good gymnastic strength piece today. We're going to show you the at-home version. There's a lot of different versions to this one today, so make sure you read the notes so you can kind of understand which one's for you. Because there's equipment limitations and there's also ability limitations. And now you have the thing about equipment limitations. You could have the most ability you could in the world with gymnastics. You'd be like a little ninja and be able to do like 20 muscle-ups in a row. I want you guys, when we show you these movements, not to judge them. I want you to look at these movements as upper body strength development, okay? No one is too good for these foundational movements, and not even the little ninja that could, all right? So here we go. We're gonna start with the pull-up chair plank. There are a couple of versions to do this. This is the hardest way if our feet are out straight. Okay, so we're gonna hold this for our first movement. Okay, you're gonna find the same musculature that you use in a pull-up, predominantly the lats, and then also the upper back. All of that stuff's gonna be on a lot of tension here. After we hold that, we're gonna go right to the Russian dip. So we're gonna use the same apparatus, and we're gonna kind of head through, hips back, Russian dip. We'll go one more so you guys can see that. Try to compress through the core and squeeze through rather than throw yourself through. And then we're gonna go right into, we'll do one more for good measure. We're gonna go right into the dip. Okay? And we're gonna burn it out with these, all right? So you're finishing that sequence there, and then off of the dip, a nice deep dip. You can see Besky's depth on the dip. We're gonna get Besky to finish off the set in a 90-second window with box jumps. What this is gonna do is gonna allow us to bring in the hip speed required for those high-level kipping gymnastics. So you're getting that upper body strength, and you're getting the hip speed and explosive nature of the kip. All right. So this one will be on a pace time, so it will get pretty exhausting. We're on that like gymnastic stamina and that core compression. Try to, no matter what you're doing, try to do the first three kind of movements all in succession, like you just saw us do there, to kind of promote that stamina and the upper body strength. All right, guys? All right, guys, today's workout looks like a longer 14-minute AMRAP, just kind of drawn out workout, but we will do a lot better in this workout if we look at it like an interval workout. So the rower, or whatever you're doing for that monostructural component, should be kind of just a recovery. You're moving, it's free reps, like you're just moving, and we can use that to recover and still get those reps done. Why not? That will allow us to, on the barbell and gymnastic stuff, to go that little bit harder and faster and cycle those reps a lot quicker. It will spike our heart rate, but we'll be able to recover back on the rower or bike or out on the run if that's what you're doing. So on the rower, this is where we start. We want to talk about this stroke graph here. So the stroke graph can be found by changing the units. Whoops, sorry. Changing the display. Not wattage. That's a good one too for this, but we're going to talk about the stroke graph. So you see kilograms and pounds here. So our goal is to create a nice smooth arc on the stroke graph. What this is calculating is your pounds per section of the pull into the chain. So the amount of force that's going into the chain for the whole pull. So we want to see a nice, smooth, evenly forced pull. All right, this is going to help us treat this like active recovery. What we don't want is to see a massive spike. Okay, so let's see if Besky can do this. We'll just watch the graph here. Starts off a little uneven. He's ironing it out, and he's getting smoother. Oh, beautiful. That's what we want to see, that nice round line. Now let's get spiky. All right, that's what we don't want to see. This is okay if you're trying to go high power outputs. All right, that's good. Okay, so the spikiness is okay if you're on going high power output. It depends what you're going for. But if you want to recover, you want a nice consistency to your stroke, and paying attention to that will not only help you actively recover, it'll also give you something to focus on while you're actively recovering that can benefit you in the future. So we can work on that technique. Then we get to the barbell. All right, now's the time to shine. We pick up this bar right away, so we should be fresh off the rower every time. And we're gonna go nice fast cycled reps. So what we wanna focus on is the weight down. We don't want to wait for that bar to come to our shoulders, because then we'll have the problem of getting ahead of the bar and getting all that clunkiness. So show me that Besky. So you're going to go, watch this bad rep of Besky dropping ahead of the bar. Yeah, you hear the clunk. Okay, now what we're going to do, instead of us moving too quickly, we're actually going to pull the bar down to us to cycle these reps really fast. Pull, good. Good, and if you have like a non-awkward odd object, you can use that same thing. And if you have dumbbells or whatever you're using for this, you can use that same principle. All right, so then we have the chest to bar pull-up. And if you're using a pull-up bar or you're doing butterflies, remember that we focus a lot on the bottom. We also want to focus on the top of that movement too, especially with cycling reps. On the top, we should be pulling into the bar. Okay, so for a chest to bar, we want to pull into the bar and feel the chest just graze that bar, right? But if you don't have a pull-up bar, we're going to be doing the pull-up chair plank pull-up. So we're actually doing reps here. Before we held it, that upper body is going to be a little bit spicy. Now we're going to do reps. So up to a straight plank. Notice how Besky's nice and straight. He's tight in the core, and he's using his elbows to pull on the chair. And you'll feel all those same pull-up muscles as you use in a chest to bar, fully engaged and on tension. Then we get back to the overhead squat, okay, to finish out the round. And these, we want to support that bar and get those legs pumping, okay? So picture it, it's an isometric upper body, all right? And we want to spend as little time with that bar overhead as possible. So that means the legs need to pump. Just make sure you're reaching full depth and full extension, and you're not shortchanging any of those reps. All right, guys, 14 minutes, hard recovery.